In my previous video, I compared the number of fireworks in Disney's new Enchantment nighttime show at the Magic Kingdom with the number of fireworks in the show's predecessor, Happily Ever After. If you've not seen that video, you'll find a link to it in the description, and it's well worth a watch. Now, the two shows I compared were both from 2021, and several of you commented on that video that the number of fireworks in Happily Ever After appeared to have reduced over its 4-year run between 2017 and when it ended in 2021. Michael asked, wondering what the counts are like versus the original 2017 debut of Happily Ever After. Mohammed wondered, the original Happily Ever After has more fireworks than Enchantment, I assume. Guy asked, I would be curious to compare Enchantment to Happily Ever After's pre-COVID firework count. And Gerard commented, really think you should look into this. Well, Gerard and everyone else, you've got me curious as to whether this was actually the case. And if so, to what extent were Happily Ever After's fireworks cut back during its 4-year run? So I decided to investigate. In this video, I'm going to show a side-by-side comparison of one of the last ever Happily Ever After shows from September 2021. Alongside one of the first Happily Ever After shows from its debut back in May 2017. Much like my last video, you'll see a real-time firework counter beneath each show, keeping track of the individual firework launches. I'm also going to provide some analysis and commentary as we play Spot the Difference. Now, as you'll know if you've seen this show, for around the first minute and a half there aren't actually any fireworks, so we'll jump into the show just before the first fireworks launch. To the left is an early show from May 17, and to the right one of the last shows from September 21. Right away you'll see a firework has been cut from the opening volley since the show's debut, a single comet shooting vertically from the castle. The first two main shell breaks are also different, and you'll see this quite a lot throughout. Many of the original show's fireworks had a lot more glitter to them, and some shells had a longer hang time in the sky too. There are also more comets and mines in the original show. For example, these two mines either side of the castle here were cut in the later shows. And here 3 shells have been reduced to 1. Now, in this particular show from 2017, I've actually spotted a mistake. 8 shells are launched vertically, 4 each side of the castle. However, the wrong effect has been loaded into one of the launches on this night. Here again, the number of shells has been reduced. And after just 40 seconds of fireworks, you can already see a notable difference in the number of fireworks in each show.
Shining bright, so make a wish and hold on tight. There's magic in the air tonight, and anything can happen.
Here, 2 shells have been replaced by a single shell again.
Just one day, and then I swear I'll be
Now, in the 2021 version, each time the bell rings in the soundtrack, there's a corresponding bell-shaped shell in the sky. In the very original show, these are actually substituted for generic shells. However, I suspect this was more down to a supply issue, as shaped shells can be more difficult to source.
out there.
Here, the mine/comet combinations. In the original show, there were 3 either side of the castle. This was then cut to just 2 aside. Earlier I spotted a mistake in the 2017 show. I think this red shell is also a mistake in this particular showing from 2021, as it seems out of place. It's likely that the technician loaded the wrong product into the queue that night. These comet and mine combinations were cut by 2021. Notice how the shells in the original show appear to be much larger too. Here, 5 comets either side of the castle in the original show had been cut back to just 4 aside in 2021. Although interestingly, a single horsetail shell in 2017 became 2 larger shells by 2021. Now here's one change I think is actually better in the 2021 version. 4 vertical comets bursting with bright flashes and reports in sync with the music. In the original show, there were 6 horsetail shells used at this point instead. So the number of fireworks has decreased, but in this particular instance I think the new effect works better with the soundtrack.
Trust me, having a best friend by your side opens up a whole new world of possibilities.
In 2021, the comets with glitter mines from the castle were replaced with simple comet mines without any additional glitter. Eight colour mines in this section were halved to just 4. Five vertical comet tail shells launched from the castle were cut.
That's what friends are for.
friend, never had a friend, you ain't never had a friend, never had a friend, you ain't never.
Here another 6 colour mines were reduced to just 2. Now here's a good example of how the net explosive content, or NEC, of the fireworks in later shows was reduced. Compare the height of the comets of the 2 shows. In 2021 they barely clear the height of the castle, whereas in 2017 they went significantly higher.
You ain't never had a friend like me.
I'm pleased they've kept the silver gerbs from the castle, but a couple of glitter mines were cut from this queue in later years. Now, I know we're focusing primarily on the fireworks, but I did notice a projection change at this point as well, when Olaf says,
"Some people are worth melting for."
In later years, the castle projection brought the focus in on him, which they didn't in the original.
Say goodbye to the pain of the past. We don't have to feel it anymore.
Notice the height of the fan slices here. Again, it looks like the NECs were reduced by 2021, as they don't achieve the same height or duration. Also on height, compare the height and width of these 2 shells. Clearly many of the shells in the original show were larger. Look at how much higher above the castle these 2 shells break in 2017, indicating a more powerful lift charge.
Like the fog is lifted, and at last I see the light.
And it's like the sky is blue, and it's warm and real and bright, and the world is somehow shifted. All at once, everything is different now that I see you.
The flower that blooms in adversity is the most rare and beautiful of all.
5 red comets here have been cut back to 2. Four bright red flashes have also been cut back to just 2. Four mines have been reduced to just 2.
Look inside yourself. You are more than what you have become. Remember who you are.
I have often dreamed of a far-off place where a hero's welcome would be waiting for me.
Where the crowds would cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps saying, this is where I'm meant to be.
And so our journey comes to an end, but yours continues on. Grab hold of your dreams and make them come true, for you are the key to unlocking your own magic. Now go, let your dreams guide you. Reach out and find your happily ever after.
The battles, the stories, the losses, and all the glory.
And check out the difference in height of the white comets firing over the castle. Here's another interesting change. 4 orange comets. In 2017 these were visible from the ground up. By 2021 these don't start producing their effect until they're above the castle, so it's a much shorter duration of effect. Now this is the part just before Tink flies, and you'll notice that, for additional safety, no large shells are launched in the run up to this. This is to minimise the risk of any smoke or debris being in Tink's flight path. And you'll see she's well clear of the castle before the fireworks resume, with some smaller shells initially, with the larger shells returning once she's completely clear of the hub area. Although I say larger shells, again here you can see the reduction in shell size by 2021 from the original shells used back in 2017. These 2 bright white mines were cut, and the 10 croissant cakes for either side of the castle became just 3 a side and with reduced height. The 2 fan slices were cut, and 5 white mines either side of the castle became just 3 a side. So not only did Disney reduce the number of fireworks in Happily Ever After over the course of its 4-year run by around 140, it's clear that they also reduced the size and power of many of the remaining shells. Now I'm sure this will have been done as a cost-saving measure, and if you never saw the early shows and only ever saw Happily Ever After these cuts, I'm sure that wouldn't take anything away from your experience of the show. But now that I've investigated and gone through these 2 versions of the same show, frame by frame, I was genuinely surprised and really quite disappointed and saddened by the sheer amount of firework cutbacks that have taken place over the 4-year run of this legendary nighttime Disney show. I can only imagine how the firework designer of the original show must have felt being forced to axe so many fireworks from their original design. So going back to my previous video in which I estimated that the new Enchantment show had around 40 more fireworks than Happily Ever After did, this was of course based on Happily Ever After as it was when it ended. If we compare the debut of Enchantment with the 2017 debut of Happily Ever After back then had around 100 more fireworks than in Enchantment. Enchantment is only meant to be in place for 18 months during Walt Disney World's 50th celebrations, before being replaced with something new, bring back the original Happily Ever After. But it'll be interesting to see if over the coming months, if the fireworks in Enchantment get watered down too. Anyway, now that you've seen the comparison between 2017 and the 2021 versions of Happily Ever After, what are your thoughts? Do let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe and check out my other Disney firework videos.